For this week, April 20th through 24th, we will be collecting and annotating our sources. So for the last couple weeks, we have had a pretty light course load and you haven't had to do a ton of work. Well, it's going to be a little bit tougher from here on out. We're going to start really getting into the meat of our research portion. You will notice in this folder there is a directions sheet that we'll go through in just a second, but you have 3 tasks. So task number 1 is finding your sources, sending to Noodle Tools, and sending to OneDrive. And in this folder, there are a few videos. It is incredibly important that you watch these videos. Many of you have been sending me messages before you watch the videos, and it shows. So please watch the videos first and then read the directions before you reach out to me. Many of your questions will be answered. So task 1, finding your sources, sending them to Noodle Tools and to OneDrive. Task 2 is annotating your sources. There is a directions video where I walk you through how to annotate your sources and what I expect of you. There are also a couple examples at the bottom of that folder. You will notice that task 3 is now optional. So the Living History project has been required for the last couple weeks, but now that we're getting into more intense research work, we are not having that be required anymore. It will become optional for the rest of the quarter, and you will get bonus points at the end if you submit it for points. So going into the directions, you've got task 1, finding sources. Now, you will receive a grade for inputting your correct sources. So it's really important that you watch the full video on how to import your sources to Noodle Tools, because it gives you an extra step that many of you will forget to do if you don't watch the video. So you'll receive a grade if your sources are... We receive grade either way, but your grade will be based on if your sources are done correctly or not. Not just the fact that you sent 2 of them, but that you did them right as well. Task number 2 is annotating sources, in which you will have 2 documents to upload to that one assignment. And then task 3 again is the Living History project, which is now optional. One big change for this week is that Cheyenne has decided to have all due dates be Sunday night. I told you last week why this isn't a good idea and why this wouldn't work for us, but now I don't have a choice. So until further notice, all of your classes will be having assignments due on Sundays at 11:59. I have given you suggested due dates to help you kind of plan, so you don't wait until Sunday to do all of your homework. And by turning in the work by these suggested due dates, then you might receive more feedback from me. If you wait until Saturday and Sunday to do your work, I might not be available to answer your questions, and your assignments are still due on Sunday night, whether you get it or not. So I don't recommend waiting until Sunday night, but it's up to you. So here are your objectives for the week, and here's your checklist. So find 2 Gale sources, send them to Noodle Tools, send them to OneDrive, and then annotate them and upload them. And then again, optional is completing the Living History slides.